Imagine you are a soldier standing on a battlefield. Enemies surround you from every direction. Arrows cut through the air. Dust clouds your vision. Commands are shouted from every side. Every second, something is fighting for your attention. Now imagine that battlefield is not somewhere in history. It is your mind. Today, your enemies do not arrive with swords. They arrive as notifications, headlines, messages, auto-playing videos, and endless feeds. Before you even decide what matters, the world has already started deciding for you. Every app, every platform, every screen is competing for one resource: your attention. For most of human history, attention was a survival tool. A sudden movement in the bushes could mean a predator. A distant sound could signal danger. Our brains learned to notice novelty because novelty often mattered. But the modern world has turned that ancient instinct into a system of distraction. A notification creates curiosity. A feed offers unpredictable rewards. Sometimes the next swipe is boring, sometimes it is exciting. That uncertainty keeps the brain searching. This is why distraction today is not simply a personal weakness, it is an environment problem. Think about a normal morning. You wake up and reach for your phone before your feet touch the floor. Messages, news, videos, and fragments of other people's lives enter your mind before your own day has even begun. Then work starts, but focus keeps breaking. A task that should take 30 minutes stretches across an hour. Reading a page feels harder than it should be. Silence begins to feel uncomfortable. The result is a quiet crisis. People feel busier than ever, yet struggle to complete meaningful work. They consume more information than any generation before them, yet often remember less of it. They look for entertainment to relax, then feel mentally exhausted afterward. But attention is not just a productivity tool. Attention shapes reality. What you repeatedly pay attention to becomes what you think about. What you think about becomes what you practice. What you practice becomes the person you are becoming. A scattered mind loses direction, and this is why sustained focus has become one of the rarest strengths in modern life. Protecting your attention does not mean rejecting technology. It means using it deliberately instead of letting it use you automatically. Because the battle for your attention is already happening. And to understand the power of focus under pressure, we can look next to one of history's most famous strategists, Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was known for his intense focus and ability to concentrate for long periods on military, political, and administrative matters. He could rapidly absorb large amounts of information, remember details, and switch between complex tasks while maintaining control of the bigger picture. His attention to reports, maps, logistics, and strategy helped him make quick decisions and coordinate large campaigns, contributing significantly to his effectiveness as a leader and military commander. Napoleon Bonaparte is usually remembered for armies, ambition, and battlefield genius, but one of his greatest weapons was quieter than cannon fire. It was attention. Napoleon lived inside a storm of information. He had to command soldiers, manage politics, negotiate with diplomats, track supply lines, and plan campaigns across Europe. Every day brought new reports, new threats, and new decisions. Yet people who worked with him noticed something unusual. He could focus on one problem as if the rest of the world had disappeared. His secretary described his mind like a cabinet filled with drawers. When Napoleon needed to think about military strategy, he opened that drawer. When he needed to deal with politics, he opened another. He did not let every concern spill into every other one. That is mental compartmentalization, separating problems so your mind can work on one with full force. This did not mean Napoleon ignored reality, it meant he organized it. Before major battles like Austerlitz in 1805, he studied terrain, maps, troop movements, timing, and enemy behavior. By the time the battle began, he had already rehearsed possibilities in his mind. While others were reacting, he often looked calm because much of the thinking had happened earlier. His focus was not just intense, it was strategic. Modern neuroscience helps explain why this matters. Behind your forehead sits the prefrontal cortex, a brain region involved in planning, prioritizing, impulse control, and long-term decision-making. When you keep working despite distractions, this system is helping you stay aligned with your goal. But another system is always competing for control: the brain's reward circuitry, strongly influenced by dopamine. Dopamine is often called a pleasure chemical, but that is too simple. It is deeply involved in motivation, anticipation, and the urge to seek something new or rewarding. That system can be useful. Curiosity helps us learn. Novelty can reveal opportunity, but the same mechanism can drag attention away from what matters most. So the battle for focus is not just poetic. It is partly a competition between neural systems. One system says, chase the new signal. The other says, stay with the mission.
Napoleon's advantage was that he repeatedly put the mission first. He turned attention into a weapon by choosing what deserved his full mind and what had to wait. That lesson still applies. In work, study, leadership, or personal change, the winner is not always the most talented person. Often, it is the person who can close the wrong drawers, open the right one, and keep their attention there longer than everyone else. Here is a simple ritual inspired by Napoleon's mental discipline. Before beginning work, take a notebook and write down every concern currently occupying your mind. Emails, meetings, personal problems, ideas, future plans. Do not solve them, simply list them. This process tells the brain that these issues have been captured and do not need to remain active in working memory. Step 2. Look at the battlefield. Look at your list and choose one mission. Not 3, not 5, 1. Write it at the top of a blank page. For the next session, this becomes the only battlefield that exists. Everything else is temporarily irrelevant. Step 3. Close the drawers. Imagine Napoleon's cabinet of mental drawers. Visualize physically closing every drawer except the one connected to your chosen task. Tell yourself, those problems still exist. They simply do not require my attention right now. This mental instruction is surprisingly powerful because it creates psychological permission to postpone competing thoughts. Step 4. The 45-minute campaign. Set a timer for 45 minutes. During this period, every distraction receives the same response: not now. A new idea appears: not now. An unrelated task enters your mind: not now. A worry about tomorrow emerges: not now. Do not fight distractions. Do not argue with them. Simply acknowledge them and return attention to the mission. Just as a commander ignores distant skirmishes to focus on the decisive battle, you return attention to the objective. Step 5. The after-action report. When the session ends, answer 3 questions. What progress did I make? What attempted to distract me? What will I improve in the next session? This transforms every focus session into training, not performance. Training. And training compounds, day after day, week after week, month after month. Eventually, attention stops behaving like a wild horse and begins behaving like a disciplined soldier, because attention follows command, and command follows practice. because in every battlefield of life, the outcome is decided long before the battle begins. The distracted mind reacts. The disciplined mind commands.
Master your attention, command your reality, because the most important battlefield you'll ever enter is your own mind.